7 Action News starts right now.
A Detroit police officer is in the hospital after being shot.
The suspect was shot. He's in critical condition. He fired on our officers.
What police were investigating when they say the gunman opened fire. Plus, rain is moving into Metro Detroit. We're taking a look at live radar on the left and Southfield on the right when the storms could become severe. We are following two big stories this morning. First, an officer is in the hospital after being shot on Detroit's west side. It's a story we first brought you as breaking news last night at 11, and police have been at the scene throughout the night. According to Detroit Police Chief James Craig, this all started when police went to investigate a car driving the wrong way in an alley on Florence near Greenfield. The chief says the officer was hit in his bulletproof vest and is expected to recover. The man suspected of shooting the officer is in critical condition. Two other officers were injured when they were hit by the car. 7 Action News reporter Jennifer Ann Wilson joins us live this morning. So, Jen, what are police still trying to find out right now?
Well, as you know, whenever something like this happens, police investigators always want to know why. And you can see we do have a number of investigators that just exited the alley. They are wrapping things up. We've got two Michigan State K-9 teams here on scene. One of them right here behind me. They said they're going to be wrapping things up pretty shortly here. This is, as you know, the alley. This is the alley right here where it all began. This is the alley police say they saw the suspect driving very fast the wrong way. What happened before police attempted to stop the suspect? Why did he throw the vehicle in reverse and pin those officers between the vehicles? Chief Craig says they don't know if he was running from another crime at this point or not. It was all very chaotic, as you can see from this video. A lot of first responders, a lot of people in the community, and a crime scene that moved to his second location. Now, this all began around 10:40 p.m. on Saturday night. After pinning 2 of 3 police officers between his car and the police vehicle, police say the suspect got out and started firing. A police officer was hit in the torso. Now, Chief Craig says that he was wearing a bulletproof vest, but that bullet did strike his body. Another officer fired at the suspect. The suspect was hit 5 times, but Chief Craig says he kept on running.
And because they were faced with an imminent threat to their life, they fired and he was struck. He went in and broke into a residence and he was arrested at that point. The officers followed a blood trail, the suspect blood trail, and they were able to identify and find him and arrest him.
Well, crime scene investigators, evidence technicians now just pulling away from the scene here. And like I said, the alley you see here behind these officers, that's where it all began. That's where 2 officers were pinned in between 2 vehicles. The good news here is all officers injured here are expected to be okay. In fact, one of those officers that was pinned between the cars, he drove the officer who was shot to the hospital. So again, those injuries are unclear, but they are all expected to be okay. The suspect, on the other hand, is in critical condition. He was hit 5 times. Police aren't releasing that suspect's name just yet. Chief Craig says he does have a criminal history, but it's not extensive. Why? Why did he run? Why did he behave this way? That's the big question still this morning. Reporting live here on Detroit's West Side, I'm Jennifer Ann Wilson, 7 Action News.
Yeah, certainly a big question. So glad those officers are going to recover and be okay. Thank you so much, Jennifer Ann, for that live report. We are following another big story this morning, potentially severe weather on the way. Here's a live look outside over Mount Clemens. Things are dry and appear to be quiet right now, but that is expected to change. Hallie is here now with a look at the forecast. So what time are you seeing really the biggest threat?
It'll start to increase after noon today, closer probably to 2 o'clock. But as the warmth comes in, the cold front starts to get a little closer. We start to get that instability that we need for these storms to develop. And I still think we're going to have run-of-the-mill storms as well that won't reach the severe criteria. But the concern would be any of those elevated storms where we could find, again, the risk for some stronger downdrafts or 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts or even some small hail. 54 degrees right now in Ann Arbor. It is 58 degrees degrees downtown. So temperatures are fairly mild as we just watch the increase in cloud cover throughout the morning hours. You can see back to the west already taking shape, that cold front bringing rain to Chicago. So beginning to edge in, and it'll continue to move in across the area from the southwest up to the northeast. So we're watching the chance. There isn't a chance for a shower even this morning, but the line of storms looks like it's going to hold off until about noon or so. So we look at some of these temperatures. We'll go from the 50s this morning to the 70s by 11 a.m. 80 for a high today. Those scattered storms start to strengthen a bit along with the winds this afternoon, especially as I mentioned afternoon or 1 o'clock, something that we're really going to have to watch closely. We are in the slight risk for severe weather. That includes most of lower Michigan at this point for that time frame, and the main threat being damaging winds and hail. So we'll, of course, time it out in your hour-by-hour forecast coming up and let you know when it moves out and how we cool down behind the system coming up.
All right, Hallie, thank you. Right now, we do want to head outside and give you a live look at one of our 7 first alert traffic cameras. This is I-94 and Inkster. The road is clear there, but MDOT crews tell us that they are working to clear a crash on eastbound I-94 at French Road. They are asking drivers to be especially careful in that area. A man accused of killing a woman and leaving her body in the dumpster of an apartment complex is behind bars this morning. Police say James Cockerham was arrested Saturday on Stopel near Joy Road on Detroit's west side. 7X News reporter Jen Sean spoke to the victim's mother and brother.
She'll never have a husband or my grandbabies. I won't ever see any grandbabies.
It's hard for Diana Can to imagine a world where her daughter Elizabeth doesn't exist. The 27-year-old student who went by Candy had dreams of becoming a nurse. Wednesday, police found her body in a dumpster. This is the man investigators think is responsible. Saturday, James Cockerham was arrested on the city's west side.
He should have never been let out.
Cockerham had previously served time for rape. Detroit police say he met Laird in the elevator of this apartment building on the city's east side. They don't believe the two knew each other. Laird was there visiting her boyfriend. It's unclear how Cockerham got access to the building.
She did deserve this.
It's the worst feeling I've ever felt in my life. I'm broken up in a million pieces.
The family has started a GoFundMe page to help cover the funeral.
Look at my baby in a casket. I think this is going to be the hardest thing in my life that I'll ever have to do.
Candy's older brother Curtis has this message for her suspected killer.
You've taken 27 years of joy, laughter, and happiness and ended it in a matter of minutes. This is a monster.
In Detroit, Jen Shantz, 7 Action News.
A 9-year-old is recovering this morning as police try to figure out how he managed to get shot inside his home in Superior Township.
I've got a 9-year-old that's bleeding from the neck.
The shooting happened Saturday at the Sycamore Meadows apartment complex off MacArthur Boulevard. Police say the boy was shot in the neck with a small caliber gun and that his mother was home at the time of the shooting. The child is hospitalized in stable condition but is expected to be okay. And while it's still not clear exactly what happened, neighbors say the area where they live is not known for being a safe place.
And it's been a lot of shooting and everything going on out here. It's just not a very safe neighborhood for the kids, and I'm actually thinking about just moving because that could have been one of my kids.
At this point, no charges have been filed in the case. Family and friends are mourning the death of a man who lost his life while helping a friend. Police say a 33-year-old woman ran out of gas Friday night on I-69 at Eagling Road in St. Clair County. She parked on the shoulder and called her friend to help. We're told he was putting gas in her minivan when a driver in a Jeep swiped their vehicles and hit the man, killing him. Police say he warned the woman, who was able to get out of the way in time.
We try to make sure that we offer family different avenues to seek counseling, may it be spiritual or counselors through CMH, and try to explain to them that there's people that they can talk to. Make sure that they have resources and a support group around them.
Police tell us that alcohol does not appear to be a factor in this tragedy. The debate over abortion continues as states pass bills restricting access to the procedure. As ABC's Rachel Scott reports, we're hearing from Vice President Mike Pence as most Democratic candidates for president stand united against the new laws.
The debate over abortion has renewed political battle lines, moving the polarizing issue of women's reproductive rights to the center of the 2020 election. Just 2 days after Alabama banned almost all abortions in the state, Missouri lawmakers said they are ready to give the okay in their state too. Missouri passed an anti-abortion bill of its own, banning nearly all abortions after 8 weeks of pregnancy. 2020 Democratic candidates responded in outrage.
We must come together to declare that reproductive rights are human rights. They are civil rights, and they are non-negotiable.
Democratic candidate Senator Elizabeth Warren unveiled an abortion rights platform following the new laws. The crowded field of Democrats mostly united in their stance, but at odds with the current administration.
I couldn't be more proud to be part of an administration that has stood strong on the timeless values that have made this nation great, and stood without apology for the sanctity of human life.
More than a dozen states have passed laws restricting abortion. A 2018 ABC News Washington Post poll asked Americans if the Supreme Court should make it harder to get an abortion. 30% said yes, while 21% said they'd like to see it get easier. But most Americans, at 45%, said they'd like it to remain just the same. Rachel Scott, ABC News, the White House.
A Michigan congressman is the first Republican lawmaker to call for President Trump's impeachment. On Saturday, GOP Congressman Justin Amash told his Twitter followers that he had just finished reading the redacted version of the Mueller report, as well as listened to critical testimony in regards to the investigation. Amash said, quote, Mueller's report reveals that President Trump engaged in specific actions and a pattern of behavior that meet the threshold for impeachment, end quote. Amash also wrote that Attorney General Barr deliberately misrepresented special counsel's report. This comes after Michigan Representative Rashida Tlaib submitted an impeachment resolution in late March. Only one other lawmaker supported the bill, Texas Democrat Al Green. The president has said the Mueller report exonerates him. 6:11 is the time right now, and thousands of people will gather in Detroit today for the annual Flower Day celebration at Eastern Market. Always such a great time. The sale kicks off bright and early in just a little bit at 7 o'clock this morning. You'll get to pick from more than 15 acres of beautiful flowers, plants, and shrubs. Flower Day has been an Eastern Market tradition for more than 5 decades. Today's sale runs until 5 p.m. And today is also the last day for Motor City Comic Con in Novi. It's happening at the Suburban Collection Showplace from 10:30 this morning until 5 o'clock. You can meet celebrity guests like Lou Ferrigno and Nev Campbell and George Takei. Tickets start at $30. There are extra charges for autographs and pictures with the celebrities, but I know it's been jam-packed there Friday and Saturday. Again, today is the last day, so get on out there and enjoy.
A lot to do and a lot to do outdoors, so that's going to complicate things a bit, especially as we get later into the late morning, afternoon hours. We are looking at thunderstorms, even the possibility of an isolated shower storm this morning. It definitely increases from noon into the afternoon, so we'll time it out better. It's a warm one today, highs near 80.
Hallie, thank you. And dozens of tornadoes have hit 5 states this weekend. The damage the twisters are leaving behind as the cleanup continues. 3 people are in critical condition after a shooting near a college campus. What police say led up to the violence. You're watching 7 Action News on this Sunday morning.